Hey Stitch Ballers, it's Gib Gab. Alrighty, so episode 1, we sat down with Coach Kaz. Episode 2, sat down with Heather. Now, which most of you might recognize me from somewhere else online, I am going to sit down again with Coach Kaz, talk to you guys about Team Nitro. You know, I started the Team Nitro TikTok just over, 2.5 years ago, and it's crazy how many people I've met through starting that TikTok page. So I want to give you guys a background story of how we started Team Nitro, how it's come to be as large as it is now, and all the fun stories that we have with it. So I hope you enjoy, and I will talk to you guys very soon. Gib Gab, over and out. Alrighty. I was thinking, because we talked a little bit last episode about Nitro,
Yes, we touched on Nitro a little bit.
touched on it a little bit. I think the world may know us most, not all of the world, but a good chunk of the world, maybe 50,000 or so.
50,000 or so followers.
Might know us a bit from TikTok under the Team Nitro account. So I figured it's only appropriate for us to talk about the Nitro origin story, where even TikTok came about, why we have a TikTok maybe, and what our organization is on Long Island.
Well, that was your
Yep, that's it. Good. Keep that up. Nice. That's it. Good job.
Fire.
Keep that up. Good. One more. Pick these up.
Well, that was your brainchild, so we'll get
my
to that a little bit later on. But we touched on Nitro a little bit. Started back in 2005, 2006.
Yes, Coach Kaz, I would say, is the founder.
Yep.
Head of the board, CEO. What do you like to call yourself?
President.
President of Team Nitro.
Yes, Team Nitro. Yeah. And we're a fast pitch travel organization, originated on Long Island, and we vary between 8 to 10 teams. Every season, every year varies a little bit. We're not here primarily just to have as many teams as possible.
I think some years we've had 5, 6 teams.
Yeah.
Other
And
years
then
we've
others
had
10.
10.
Yeah.
Just depends on the year.
And again, we want to have teams that, first of all, we have the right coaching for. If we don't have the right coaching, it doesn't make sense to put a team together.
Nope.
I mean, there are plenty of players out there, but I'm not going to just throw teams on for the sake of throwing teams on. That's not what we're trying to do.
No.
We're trying to put out a good quality product.
Yep.
And
what does that look like? That looks like good quality players.
That looks like players that want to be here for the right reasons, that want to work hard. Doesn't mean they're the best players out there, okay?
No.
We will make you some of the
player,
best players out there, okay? Because we know how to train properly.
Yeah.
But what we're looking for are kids that are dedicated to the game of fast pitch softball.
Yeah.
Now, we don't discourage players not to play other sports. But as you know, we want players that in their lives have certain priorities.
Yes.
To us, family is priority number 1.
Of course.
School and schoolwork is priority number 2.
Health in there, like your own physical health.
That's very important as well.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And then Team Nitro's 3rd.
Yeah.
And
You can do anything else with your life,
do whatever else you want,
long
but
as-
those 3 things should come first.
and that's what we ask for
That's what we ask
as
for.
a player under Team Nitro.
And it's not for everybody.
No, and we understand that.
And we totally get that. And there are teams or organizations out there that are fine with you during the summer going off to summer camp, or during the fall playing another sport.
Yep.
And
it's a good thing to play other sports, right? Like I think we talk about that a lot. We hear sometimes college coaches even say, like,
Absolutely.
other sports develop different skill sets in our athletes that maybe we can't bring about. In my opinion, like I see actually in Lila a lot, like how explosive she is at the
Yes.
12U level.
Yes.
I think that stems from her soccer training.
I agree,
And playing
100%.
soccer.
And
we at this point in time have not developed that in most of our players, but she has been able to develop that because she has another sport.
And
under
a
her
lot of our girls, a lot of the Nitro girls do play other sports, but
Yes.
Team Nitro practices, Team Nitro games come before others.
They have to.
And that's
Because it's only
that's what we
fair.
ask for.
It's only fair.
It's only fair for the other 11 girls on the team, on the roster.
Yep.
Okay, because come a Saturday,
Yes.
if we're starting a game, on a Saturday, first game, and you missed the practice because you went to a game for something else,
Yeah.
well, I got to reward the players that were at practice.
Yep.
I'm not punishing you. I'm rewarding the 11 other players that were there. They
Yeah.
get to start over the one girl who didn't.
That is what
That's
it is.
just the nature. But for the most part, we have all players are committed to Team Nitro.
Yeah.
And they understand that, and that's again discussed well ahead of time before any
Yes.
offers are made. We have a long discussion about the commitment level that we're expecting. We get that out of the way, and this way that never comes into play.
You talk a lot about having the right coaches before we even put a team together.
Yes.
What does that look like to you? What do you look for in your coaches? I know we do have a little bit of a rule on Team Nitro of how we dictate coaches as well. So can you dive into
Yeah,
that?
well, we break up the roles on a team as well. So
Yeah.
we have a person that is a manager,
Mm-hmm.
and they handle all the off the field, non-coaching aspects of that team.
Like hotels,
Hotels if they travel.
Team Snap.
Yeah, that's right. Team Snap.
Uniforms.
Making sure they communicate the right, when practices are
Right,
and all that.
where, yeah,
They
all
handle all the non-softball
logistics.
coaching related stuff.
Yeah.
We want to take that off of the head coach's job because I pay my head coaches to coach the girls.
Yeah, and have that be the
Practice,
focus.
games, lineups, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
So our head coaches on all of my teams are non-parents.
Yep.
They don't have a child. They don't have any sort of player on the team they're connected to in any way, so that they don't have that tie,
Yes.
that old adage, daddy ballish coaching mentality.
Yeah.
We don't want any of that. And then we have an assistant coach that is also usually not a father of a coach, of a player on a team. What do we look for? We look for girls or boys or men that want to dedicate as much time and effort to this team as if it's a full-time job.
Yeah, and it's a lot of work.
It is a lot of work.
For me alone, right? We do once a week practice. We did then another session of hitting a week.
Second day of
And then we
practice,
have a
seventh day of
tournament
hitting
on
practice,
weekends.
and then tournaments on weekends.
That's a lot of time out of my day.
Yeah. They're busy 4 days a week
Yeah.
in softball, and you're responsible to be there.
Yep.
So we look for girls that love the game, had success at the game at a certain level. Didn't have to be a certain, you didn't have to play D1 or anything like
doesn't have
that.
to be at the college level.
Yeah,
but
but-
at least has knowledge and experience that we can like almost leverage, or the
Absolutely.
team can leverage
Absolutely.
if they're playing under them.
Yeah. And somebody who wants to continue to improve as a coach.
Yeah.
And I brought this up in our last episode, that it's important that coaches are constantly trying to better themselves. If we're asking the girls to get better every day, we need the coaches to get better every day.
And also the game I played, or any coach that might have played 10, 15, 20 years ago, isn't the exact same game that we're playing today.
Absolutely not. So that's important.
Yeah.
As a coach, you need to keep evolving your coaching
Yes.
skill sets.
Yes.
And we let the girls do that. So in most of our cases with our coaches, I'm pretty much hands off with the teams. I let them coach the teams.
Yeah. As the president of Nitro, you were hands off with them,
I-
coaching their individual teams.
We pay you to coach your team,
Yep.
and
We put that trust in you, right?
we put that trust in you. Now, we've had in the past times when a coach not doing what they need to do, and I try to mentor them,
Yeah.
give them time, give them a couple seasons, we mentor them. A lot of times it works out, and they grow, because it takes a while to develop your coaching voice.
Yes. Oh my God, yes.
Okay? What resonates with kids? How to say things? How to communicate things?
Because-
what are the important things to communicate?
Girls process feedback differently than males might.
Absolutely.
And that is a big learning curve as a coach.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that goes back to when I first started coaching.
Oh, yes, tell me.
One of the biggest lessons I learned
Yes.
was I coached based on how I was coached.
Yes.
So that was men coaching boys. And I drew off my experiences of what I thought were good coaches to me, and now I'm going to coach like they did.
Right.
Well, I quickly came to understand and learned coaching boys and coaching girls are two different things.
Of course.
And you've heard me say this over and over again.
I love it,
And
though.
I use this. I did some research when I was like going, something's not working here. It ain't resonating with the girls. I don't know why. Let me
Yeah.
try to find out. And I read a lot of things by Coach Mike Calandrea.
Okay.
who was the head
Who's
coach
that?
of the USA softball.
Okay.
He also was a college coach at Arizona or Arizona State, and one of the two.
We'll fact check that.
We'll have to fact check that one. And he wrote quite a few articles back in the day of the difference between coaching boys and coaching girls. And
Okay.
one of the things that to this day resonates with me is he wrote, boys need to play good to feel good. Girls need to feel good to play good.
Yep.
So here's a good example. If that girl thinks you're going to yell at them because they went to go get the ball and throw it somewhere, if they're all thinking about is, I'm going to get yelled at, that ball becomes a hot potato and they don't want to go near it.
Yep.
They run away from it.
Right. If they know that they're going to get reamed by their coach because they're going to do something, they're about to do something, whether that's right or wrong, they're not going to do it regardless.
Right.
Yeah.
That's right. And so I tell my coaches all the time, if you turn off one of the girls from playing this game and loving this game, you failed as a coach.
Yes.
Whether it's a girl on your team or even another team. And I'll give you a great example.
Okay.
Little League.
Oh, yeah.
There was a coach in Little League, don't need to name names,
Nope.
who wanted to always be the New York Yankees.
Oh, yeah. Oh, right. Because all right. Oh, I don't know if this happens anywhere else, but in our Little League, every team that was created at that level was given their jerseys based on MLB
Right.
teams. So obviously, being in New York, the Yankees and the Mets were always the
Always
first
the
two
favorite.
teams picked.
So he had to be the Yankees, and he
Yes.
had to pick his assistant coach had to be the number one pitcher in the
Oh,
league.
okay, yeah.
He ought to, and there he is. We're playing him, and I'm sitting as far away from him as I am here. I'm in the dugout. He's
Yeah.
at third base, and he's yelling at his girls, "Swing the bat!" Now, Francesca was obviously on my team pitching, so
Yeah.
she was a very good pitcher.
Yes.
And they had their number one pitcher. We had our number one pitcher, so we would always battle. And he's yelling at the top of his lungs, and the girls in the batter's box, you could see they're
like
shaking.
they're scared.
They're shaking.
Yeah.
They're like, "Are you?" And I finally looked at him. I said, "Coach, what are you doing?"
Yeah.
He says, I got to get these girls to swing the bat."
Yeah, he thinks yelling
Yell-
at them is
think-
going to like
yeah,
flip the
yeah.
switch. Oh, right now I'm going to swing, which not
And
the
I
case.
looked at him. I said, "Maybe it's your approach.
Yeah.
Try changing your approach." And he looked at me and he went, and he went right back to yelling.
I didn't
Now,
know that.
now, there was a girl on our team.
Yeah.
Her father played minor league baseball.
Oh, okay.
I got her to play, this was like, farms level softball.
Which is like what? Like not even 10.
This is like, you're just like 8 years old, 9 years
Okay.
old, right? When we just start first getting the pitching going,
Yeah.
pitching and all that. And she started to like really, you could see this kid could be a ball player
Yeah.
at a good age because it was in her blood, in her genes.
Right, right.
Her dad played at a very high level. And I'm like, oh, great. And at the end of the season, I asked around, are you going to come back? You're going to go next year? And she said, no, I'm not going to join. And the mom came to me and said, if you remember correctly, the second time we played the Yankees, she didn't feel well. She just didn't want to play
Oh.
because of the coach yelling so much.
Interesting.
Then in the playoffs, we did it again. Now, it happened. It was several weeks in between each, so I didn't think anything of it.
Yeah.
But the mom said that coach turned her off so badly that she doesn't want to play this game.
And that happens a lot.
And it
Not
does.
even at the young levels. At the older high school, college levels.
Oh yeah, you
Happens
hear that
a
a
lot.
lot. Yeah, it happens a lot. Is right. And high school coaches, I know a lot of players come back to travel ball and they go, "My high school coach,"
Oof. Yeah.
and it
Bad.
turns the kids off, and that's a shame. That
Yeah.
really is a shame. You don't want to do that. So in Nitro, we try to make everything fun.
Yes.
Try to make it fun, but it's also, we demand that you work at it, and we'll
Yeah.
call you out, but we have a lot of fun, as you know.
Yeah.
We make the environment fun. We're always playing music,
Yep.
right? We're always
Joking
joking
around,
around.
yeah.
We have a lot of laughs. We kid around.
Which-
we entertain the girls when they want to try to do something.
Yeah,
All right,
yeah, all
I'll do
right,
it.
what do you wanna
Let's
do?
do it.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah, I hear ya.
You want me to wear that hat? Okay.
Which is very different. Like I remember when I went to college, we couldn't crack a joke at all. Like my coach, it was like when the moment she was in front of us, it was like she wanted 100% focus 100% of the time until she left the field. Whether that was practice, whether that was in the weight room. Oh my God, it was crazy. So in my opinion, coming from our environment growing up, the fun, energetic, great environment. To then go into the other environment on the other end of the spectrum in college. Now back here coaching, definitely
Right.
can
You
say.
understand.
Now I understand the two sides of the
Right.
of the
And you
scenario.
make sure you will not.
Go that way.
You will not, you will not do the same mistakes that
Right.
the college coach does. And you've been around, as well. We do laugh a lot. We do have a lot of
Yes.
fun.
A lot of fun.
Okay, and the environment, and I think that's what brings our girls to come back and want to come back and love being here.
Yeah.
But we'll also call you out. We'll hold your feet to the fire when you're not performing the way we know you can.
Yep.
And it's not personal, and we've talked
No.
about this in the past. It's not personal. It's
It's all right. We got to refocus.
We gotta
Reel
refocus.
it back in a bit. We had our fun, but that time has come and gone.
that's right. That's
Now,
right.
now we're in the game. Yeah.
But what we do get out of it is we get girls that play a lot looser
Yes.
and relaxed
Yes.
and play the game at a better level.
Which is so important.
Yeah. Yeah.
And again, that goes back to feeling good to
Yeah,
play
that's
good.
right. Feeling good to play good.
Yeah.
Mike Calandrea.
I think we also pride ourselves a lot in the no daddy ball.
Yes.
We do have a lot of college girls who might have either played in our organization a few years back, graduated college, now are back coaching.
We welcome them back. We love having
love
girls.
having them back.
Love
Yeah.
having them back. Yeah.
And then we
I mean,
also- yeah.
I went to training when we go on a Saturday and all the girls are there, and it's just like family.
Oh my God, family.
It's family, and
Yeah. So much fun.
a lot of fun. The girls love, and they
The Team
impart
Nitro
the same
family,
fun.
yeah.
They impart the same fun into the players.
Yeah.
And that's why I think we have such great turnouts.
Yeah.
Every practice, people are always on time or early because they don't want to be late.
Yeah.
They look forward to it.
Yeah.
It's not like it's not a chore. It's not a job. It's fun. Because what
lot
are we
of
doing?
fun.
We're playing a game.
Yeah.
We are playing a game. Got to always remember that.
Yeah.
So with Nitro, that's what we try to do, and we have 8 to 10 teams every year.
Yeah.
We have
From the 12U to 18 recruiting college.
we,
recruiting.
we get 10U every now and then, but as being a travel ball organization, what's difficult at times for us is people that have not been through travel ball, maybe with an older daughter, don't know about travel ball teams.
Right.
They only know about their local teams, or maybe a team that maybe a local coach had put together from a rec ball or little league level, and now is like, all right, we're going to play some travel ball.
And I
tournaments.
actually think that might just be like the Northeast New York thing. Because we made some friends along the way
Yep.
in different states.
Yes, we have.
The Lady Gators
Lady Gators,
in Florida.
Florida.
They, at the 8U level, have been playing travel ball competitively,
Yes.
which is vastly different from the New York scene of softball, I
That's
feel
true.
like.
Yeah. Very little 8U in New York.
Very little, yep.
Yeah. It's all mostly 10U, and even 10U's
Sparse.
sparse. Sparse is a good way of putting it. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So yeah, but we, as you know, we were on vacation. We went to our condo in Florida during the couple
During
of weeks.
the few weeks that we get as
The
an
few weeks we
off-season.
get, we run down to Florida and get away from it.
Yes.
And
and let me go. And lo and behold, we're at dinner, and Kaz sees lights in the distance. And he
stanchions,
goes,
light stanchions.
"Yep, stadium lights."
No, stadium. That's a softball field. Let's go look.
Of course, we had to take a drive
Yeah.
while we're on vacation because we can't get away from softball.
I love it too much.
And who do we stumble upon?
The Lady Gators.
The Lady Gators, the cutest little girls ever.
Yep.
And they were good. They were good.
Crazy good.
Better than some of our 12U girls up here.
If you remember that first, we got invited to join them in practice.
Which was a lot of fun.
A lot of fun.
I'll post some of those videos.
And
yep.
I did the pitching front toss for them hitting wise.
Yes.
And my first question to the coach was, "Do you have a pitching bow net? Because these girls are crushing the ball."
Yeah. Yeah.
I was a little scared for my life there.
You're like, I need a little bit of protection before I front toss some pitches to them.
Yep.
Yep.
And now they're playing 10U. They're
Oh,
a
okay.
9U. They're a 9U team.
Yep.
A couple weeks back,
You
I
just
was down
saw
in
them.
Florida.
Yes. Tell
went
me
down
about
there.
that. How was that?
So phenomenal. Absolutely
Yeah.
incredible.
I
We
wish
go-
I was able to join.
We go down there. We went down there Saturday. We went and watched them play. They're playing
Okay.
against all these 10U teams that are actually true 10Us.
Yes.
They're a 9U team.
Okay. So they're playing
They're
a year
playing
up.
a year
almost.
up.
Yeah.
And they went 0-3 on Saturday.
Oh, okay.
Now they were
Tough
all
day.
they were all close games. They were one run games. I think
Yeah.
they got 2 of the games they lost literally in the last inning, whatever. And they right in the games and battled. And I remember after the game, Coach asked me to say a few words to the girls. I said, ladies, don't look at this as being a bad day. I said, you're playing against girls that are a year older than you.
Yep.
And you battled, and you could have won just as easily as you could have easily have won those games as you did lost the game. So don't look at it as just come out here tomorrow, focus
same
on
focus
with
and
same focus and
energy,
energy, and good things will happen.
Yeah.
Well,
Sure enough.
they went 4-0 on Sunday and won the whole championship.
Insane. Love that for them.
Great group of girls.
Yes.
Coach Katie down there is doing a phenomenal job with them, and every time I go to Florida, I'm going to
You're gonna call
call up,
Yep.
go see my girls. They're doing
Yes.
awesome. Yeah.
Well, I'm
so-
excited for. I couldn't make this past trip, but I need to see them again. It's been too long.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. You're going to be amazed. Going to be
know.
absolutely amazed. So back to Nitro.
Oh, yes.
So we. So what do we? I talked about this. 8 to 10 teams strong every season.
Yeah.
We do our
Well, here,
summer tryouts.
Yeah, I was say let's start with we were just talking about Florida softball being so different from New York softball.
Yes.
So what does a New York softball season even look like? I know
So
we
yeah,
kick
so
off
we
in
do.
August.
We do tryouts in August.
Yeah.
First 2 weeks in August.
Yep.
Each of the teams finds their players, sets up their rosters,
Yeah.
and we have either a 4-season or a 3-season full calendar year.
Yeah.
For the younger girls that are not yet in high school, it's 4 seasons. So you have a fall league, full season,
Fall, winter,
fall, winter training, spring,
and summer. At the older level.
At the old level, right. High school we do not do any Nitro activity during
high school.
during
It's
high
just
school
too
ball.
hard.
So
And we don't
March,
wanna-
April into May,
Yeah.
we don't. It's too much.
It's too much, and you're gonna burn out our players.
Yeah, we don't, and I know other locations do play. Other locations, I know Northeast. Some of the teams and coaches I've talked to in Northeast, they actually play their school team, and they also play travel
really?
ball as well.
Okay.
But down
too
here,
much.
6 days a week is more than enough. I don't think the girls need to play any more than 6 days
Yeah,
a week.
your body as a softball player, your body hurts.
Monday
after
through
6 days a week.
Saturday, you got practices, you got games going on for
Yeah.
school ball. The last thing anybody wants is to be practicing on a Sunday for your travel ball team.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Okay, so we usually don't do anything until beginning May, maybe middle of May.
Pause, rewind. So tryouts happen in August.
Yes.
And then we after we get the groups of girls together, we might have some practices in August, but maybe we might wait until late August to start
As we
out.
always tell everybody within Nitro,
Yeah.
plan your family vacations in the month of August.
Yes, after tryouts.
Yeah, after the first week in August, plan your tryouts because come September and October,
Labor Day.
Labor Day, we're in our fall season, and
Yep.
we're playing on average 5 or 6 tournaments in September and October.
Yes.
By the time the first week in November comes, you're usually
Too
wrapping
cold,
up. Starting
or
to
maybe
for
the
up
snow
here.
might come up here. It's a little
starting to
tough.
get a little cold.
Yeah.
You get some cold days, so by the first week in November, you're usually wrapping
Call
up.
it quits. Yeah.
Then the rest of November, we kind of give them the opportunity to
Relax
a little bit.
Yeah.
We tell everybody, get away from training.
Yeah, we encourage the girls to stop.
Give your body
playing.
rests. Rest is super important. You can't just play this game 12 months a year. Parents, please
Yes.
allow your daughters to rest. Stop trying to allow them or force them to go to lessons 12 months out of the year. It just isn't. It will never happen.
No.
You'll do a number of things. One, their bodies will fatigue.
Yeah.
They'll start to actually decline in performance,
And even cause injuries sometimes.
especially like pitches.
I mean, like your arm.
You start
your
slowing
shoulder,
down. You actually
elbow.
start throwing slower because your
Yes.
body does not have the time to grow.
Yes.
If you think of, I did a lot of weightlifting when I was younger.
Mm-hmm.
And if you think about somebody when they weightlift, right? It's the same as practicing. You exhaust your muscles to the point where they've depleted
The energy
energy
source,
sources, right? Then you got to give it time to rebuild up.
Rebuilds, Yep.
The same thing with players.
With training,
With
yeah.
training.
Yeah.
You have to allow them time. And getting away from softball, both physically and mentally, for say
2 weeks. 3
2,
weeks.
3 weeks, 4 weeks,
Especially
even
in-
4 weeks if possible.
Especially in the month of November.
November.
There's no need.
That's right.
There's no
Because what you're going to do is once November ends and December hits, we start what we call our winter
Winter
training.
training. Yeah.
But we break our winter training into 2 sessions.
All right, let me hear it.
Because we're either, depending on the year, 10, 11-week long
Yeah.
winter training sessions. This year we're doing 11 weeks. The first 6 weeks we call off-season training.
Okay.
And that's all about redefining or recreating mechanics and making any major changes to your
Yes.
pitching motion, your hitting motion, or anything it needs to do.
Really stripping down the athlete to the bare bones of softball. What
And
are
then
the
building it
foundational
back
skills?
up.
Yes.
Yep. And building it back up with more power and strength.
Yes.
And we try to add a lot of power and speed drills there.
Yes.
Our pitches are doing a lot of power. We don't worry about throwing a strike. We don't worry about spinning the ball.
Not in
We
the
don't-
first 6 weeks.
Not the
no.
first 6 weeks. Not in off-season training.
Because you're not playing.
We're not playing games. Yeah. I also am a big believer in there are
Hot take.
tournaments. There are tournaments that do these,
Indoor
domes
dome,
in the middle of
winter
January and all that.
tournaments, yeah.
But personally, I think you're doing your players and pitches
Yes.
a disservice. If they're training, off-season training,
To get more explosion, to get more power and more spin, more
rework
speed.
their mechanics to
They're
to
not
improve
spotting
things.
pitches.
They can't spot
No,
pitches.
not at
now,
all.
now you're going to tell them, okay, well, I know you're doing all that, but we're playing this weekend, so I
you
need you to be able to throw
yeah,
strikes.
They're not going to be able to.
You can't walk batters. Well, I'm not practicing and training that way.
Yeah.
So I'm not a big believer in playing domes.
Yes.
During the middle of winter, because you got to give your body the time to grow back.
Yeah.
And redevelop, and it takes time to create muscle memory,
Love that word.
right? and let's be honest, the only way you get muscle memory is by doing the same thing over and over again exactly, practicing perfect to be perfect. You just don't practice to be perfect.
Yes.
So you have to make sure you're doing repetitions perfectly
Yeah.
every time over and over again.
Yeah.
Then it becomes second nature, it becomes muscle memory. You don't even think about it.
Yeah,
Just
that's
do
exactly it.
Right? So that's the first half of our winter training. The second half of our winter training we call preseason training.
Because now we're getting closer to high school ball, closer to spring ball.
Absolutely.
Right.
So then we start working on pitches, locations, spinning the ball, change-ups, hitting spots, being
Yeah.
consistent.
Our catchers are now
Catchers
working
are
with
working
their
live,
pitchers.
absolutely.
So they can actually understand and get to know their pitchers like the back of their hands.
Right. You need to understand the pitcher's tendencies, their motion, their mechanics, their spin, their location, how the ball moves as they pitch.
Why something happens one
Good
way, not
example,
the
as
other.
you know, one of the pitchers on our team, lefty, Stella.
Yes, Stella.
Okay, 12U. She has her fastball, lefty. Her fastball breaks in, almost acts like a natural curveball on every
Very
pitch.
different
Yeah.
from some of our righty pitchers.
Some of our righty pitchers actually throw natural screwballs.
Yeah.
And so you as a catcher have to know, I got Stella, and this is her pitch is going to tend to be here or there.
Yeah.
Her changeup's going to be here. You know, so our catchers during preseason are working live with the pitchers to understand their mechanics, their motion, their movement on their pitches, and be able to frame the ball.
Yeah.
Proper receiving, proper framing, proper blocking, all
Yeah.
that. So they're working, pitchers are working their skill set, catchers are working their skill set.
Yeah.
And I would love to have a whole nother discussion one day about how important catchers are, how they are the unsung heroes.
Yes, we'll dedicate an episode just
Absolutely.
to our catchers.
Because not enough credit's given to the catcher.
I agree.
Okay? I can get pitchers to spot their pitches. I can get pitchers to throw the balls in the river.
Yeah.
Just off the plate, which is a ball, but my catcher is going to steal that for a
Good
strike.
catcher will steal that.
Steal that for a strike. I have pitches, and this happened with your sister, Francesca,
Yes.
when she pitched in high school level. Throw really good pitch location, but their catcher lose their strike. And umpire who I knew once during a scrimmage game came to me during the game and said, "Your catcher is killing your daughter.
Yeah.
She can't frame.
I think-
her pitches are taking her glove off the plate."
Yeah,
And
they're
she
like
goes,
moving
Move
to-
the glove,
yeah,
especially
she
that
couldn't
curveball
handle it.
outside.
Right.
The ball's breaking away, and if you can't stick that catch and
Yes.
just you went from strike to a ball.
A catcher will make or break a pitcher,
Absolutely.
or could honestly make or break that outcome of the game. If that is consistently not happening, that's going to impact the entire
You can have
game.
two pitches throwing the exact same pitches.
Yes.
One could be super successful, and one can not be because the catcher is either
Yeah.
getting those strikes or not getting those strikes.
Yeah.
So they're the unsung heroes. So we're gonna spend some time talking about catching
Yes.
and how important that is and what they can do, what we can do with them, and
Right.
how coaches overlook working with catches.
I
And
agree.
they got to work with catches a lot more. Everybody thinks pitching, pitching, pitching. And yeah, pitching is great. We can get pitchers to do what they want, but catches can make or break you.
Right.
Make
But
or break you.
So we like to marry the two of them together.
Absolutely,
for
during
the
the
second half of
preseason
winter
training.
Yep.
Preseason training,
Yep.
right. And then that sets them up so that, in a couple of weeks after that, they are going to be pitching live in games.
Yeah.
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 And then during that time, like we said, Nitro doesn't do anything. So once winter training ends, which is for us up here in New York, it's probably middle of March.
Yeah, middle March.
Early middle March.
Yeah.
They just moved high school season back in New York 1 week. So we're usually like March 10th, 11th, 12th, somewhere in there is when the season starts. But the first games are usually March 25th-ish.
Yeah.
Somewhere in there, 2 weeks after that.
Right.
That's when games start.
So when winter training ends for Nitro,
Right.
the high school level girls go off and play high school.
Yep.
Right? We don't want anything to do with you. We
That's
want
right.
to hear about you. We want to read about you in the paper, but we don't
follow
want
you.
anything
We do high
to
school
about you.
shout outs.
Yes, we do a lot with
watch all
them.
that. Yep, we can recognize them.
Right.
But we go do your thing, and then the younger ones we continue working with. When the weather starts getting a little nicer there, we go outside.
Spring ball, yeah.
Yeah, we go outside and they do spring ball, and they have April, May is their season for
Yep.
spring.
We do some like one-day tournaments.
With some
do
one
team
days.
practices.
Yep, team practices. Yep.
Maybe a 2-day
Scrimmages.
tournament, scrimmages, yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of one days in the spring up here in Northeast
Yeah.
in April and May now.
Yeah, I agree.
Come June, end of May,
June, really, yeah.
June and July are our summer season.
And that's full blown. That is
that's- yeah.
7 weeks?
There's
8
about
weeks?
no, there's about 8 weeks in there, but you're probably playing.
Six.
There's probably maybe 8 or 9. Depends if you include Memorial Day weekend
Right.
as part of summer. We actually can include that into spring, but a lot of the teams will actually start Memorial Day weekend. So you got like 9 weeks. So they'll be playing 6 to 7 tournaments.
Yeah.
Or showcases. Our
Yeah.
18U gold team, which I coach, is doing showcasing.
Mm-hmm.
So we're out there probably 5, 6 showcases, 3 days, Friday, Saturday,
I was
Sunday.
just going to say, showcasing is a whole nother beast because, especially in the summer, you have your tournament, which could be a 3-day tournament at the showcasing level,
Yes.
and there might be like a clinic attached to that.
day before, on a Thursday.
So that's like 4 days of your summer weekend that
right. Mm-hmm.
you're dedicating to traveling. Actually, that's not even considering traveling. You might have to travel up Wednesday
Yep.
for your clinic on Thursday.
Yeah, that's right. Then 2
then
games on
play.
Friday, 2 games Saturday, 2 games Sunday.
Yeah. It's a big
Yep,
commitment in
yep.
the summer.
So the end of June and then all of July, it's everything's a 3-day, 3
Yeah.
or 4 day event. And
Yeah.
but at that level, you're at the college recruiting level. Your time is limited because you're doing this. Division II, Division III players really doing it your junior and senior year. That's when you're getting most of your recruiting done in
Right.
the Northeast. Division I, it's earlier than that.
Yeah.
Division I, you should be, if you're a Division I player, you're probably on a team, a 16U national team of some sort, traveling all
across
over the
the
place.
nation, yeah.
Because you need to be on the coaches' radars
Early.
for September 1. September 1 of your junior year.
Yeah.
Right? Because September 1 of your junior year, most Division I players are getting reached out to by colleges based on the NCAA rules, which say
Yes.
no college can communicate with you as a player until September 1. So midnight, September 1, if you're a player, and I know a lot of players, they got college
Emails,
coaches actually
phone
calling them.
calls, Yeah.
Phone calls.
Big day in the softball
Big
world.
day in the softball world and a lot of the other sports too as well. But yeah, and you'll get emails, you'll get calls, and they'll get invitations to do official visits.
Overnights.
All that stuff.
All
So
that.
Division I, Division II, not so much September 1st, but you also do some official visits. You'll start doing that. Tends to be a little more towards spring, summer, and then fall of your senior year.
Yeah. I hear you.
So the latter part. But that's what we kind of do at Nitro here, and we again run teams at 10U all the way up to 18U. We put a lot of kids in college. We work on really getting these kids to that level. We look for kids that are dedicated to the game of softball, that want to or believe they want to play in college.
Yeah, you don't have to. At 12 years old, I didn't even know about college.
That's right.
You don't have to know about what your high school or college softball experiences might look like, if that is even of an
You don't
option.
have to give a definitive answer, but
we want
you should
the
be able to say
dedication
at that
that
point,
you
I
wanna
love
get
it.
there.
I
Yeah.
love it, and I want to play this game, and I want to continue playing this game at a very high level.
Yeah. Nice.
So yeah, so that's the type of product we put out here. And I know the travel ball scene probably across all of America, has exploded just like it has here on Long Island. A good example, one of the governing bodies, USSSA Softball, is very big on Long Island and in New York State. And I remember looking back in 2015,
Yes.
there were 75 registered teams
Really?
in USSSA.
Okay.
In 2020, there was 750.
Really?
It tenfold
Yeah.
in 5 years.
That's crazy. I had no clue.
So yeah, and that talks to the decline that you see at the Little League,
Right.
rec ball,
Right.
town leagues. We, as you know, Gabs, you started, along with Francesca, started playing Half Hollow Hills Little League,
Yes.
a very, very large Little League.
At
We
the
had
time,
almost
right.
2,000 kids in the Little League. Our in-house leagues for
Yes.
softball,
Yes.
farms level, there were 16 in-house teams.
That's crazy. Now?
Minors, there was 12, 14. Majors, 8 to 12.
Yeah. A lot.
We used to be able to put 2 Williamsport teams together.
Yes.
That's how many kids we got
I
out of it.
remember that.
Now there's maybe 2 teams
Yeah.
in all of the Little League.
It's crazy.
And
that flip
they went from
really
2,000,
happens.
now there's probably, and that's 2,000 is not just softball, it's baseball and softball.
Yeah.
But now that 2,000 number, we were just under 2,000 back in the day, is probably somewhere around 700 kids now. In the
Yeah, I was
Little
gonna
League.
guess 500,
And
yeah.
most of it's baseball.
Yep.
Most of it's baseball.
Yeah.
You know, and the Little Leagues are trying to adjust and adapt.
And
they're-
keep up with the travel
keep
ball
up with the travel
scene,
ball. So
yeah.
they're not just doing Little Leagues, they're also doing travel leagues at the Little League level.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
and they're
trying to
playing.
compete,
They're trying to
yeah.
compete. They're absolutely trying to compete
Which
because
is
they
tough.
know. Because they know the kids are just leaving to go
Mm-hmm.
play travel ball. And it's a shame because you really want to play at the Little League level. I really encourage it.
Yeah.
Because those are the kids that you grow up with school.
Right.
You're going to play
High
middle
school
school
ball
ball,
with,
high school
yeah.
ball with. You're going to know them. They're your friends for a long period of time. So have
To
fun
have
with
those like
them.
early on memories.
If you
right?
remember, I always encouraged you and Francesca to play Little League, even though we
Yeah.
were playing travel ball.
Yeah.
And what I would do is, I would say to you, okay, you couldn't pitch against Little League
Right.
because you were just too much better
We would
than them.
check everyone
You would just, yeah, it just wasn't fair. Or I would say, go up there and have fun, bat lefty.
Yeah,
if you
yeah,
get a
yeah.
really slow pitcher,
Right, I
you
remember
know,
that.
go up there and bat lefty, have fun.
Yeah.
You know,
Who cares if you
because
check out?
yeah. At the end of the day, it's it's not about winning the game. It's about the experiences you have with your
At the
friends.
Little League level,
Yeah. So definitely continue to do that and
Nice.
play that at Little League. So that's what we do with Nitro.
Here's a fun fact for everyone out there. I remember when 2005 or so, right, when we first started Nitro, we were trying to brainstorm names and come up like with what we even wanted to call Francesca's travel team. I don't remember the other names on the list, but I remember we originally,
What was our original name?
the original name was Long Island Rockets.
Long Island Rockets, yes.
And that
And do you know the
quickly-
origin of that?
Yes, I do.
Yep.
My
We have
sister.
a good friend of ours, his daughter played with Francesca, and Francesca was a pitcher and always threw hard.
Yeah.
And Steve Margarides
Oh, yes.
coined the term for Francesca, the nickname of the Rocket. And that is basically after the great Yankee pitcher
Right.
who was called the Rocket. So that stuck and called her the Rockets. So we were trying to come up with a name. We had to come up with something really fast.
So we
One night,
submitted, yeah.
we had to submit something. Literally, it was like 11 o'clock at night, and we're like, I don't know, just call us the Long Island Rockets right now until we
Yeah.
can figure out a name.
Yeah.
And we did. We submitted it, and I think we played one season.
Under
we had
that
one season
name,
of the
yeah.
Long Island Rockets. I think I still have a shirt that says Long Island
I'm
Rockets.
sure
on
we
it.
do. We could dig that up.
Yeah. That would be-
Yeah.
I don't know if it still fits me.
It's from a while ago.
It was a while ago, yeah.
But then that quickly changed to
then,
Team Nitro.
Yep,
yeah.
and then we just, I said to Francesca, I'm not sure you got involved with this, because it was really more at the time for her. You were still
Yeah.
young at the time. I said, all right, Francesca, you come up with a list of names, I'll come up with a list of names, and we'll whittle it
Yes.
down. And
I remember sitting at the kitchen table. I didn't partake in the brainstorm, but I remember.
yeah, we came up with
giving
Nitro.
my
We liked
opinion
the, we
with
liked
it,
the,
yeah.
we liked the team name for Nitro. We were just trying to think out different things, how we can come up with, what could we come up with?
Yeah.
So we just decided to call it Team Nitro.
It's stuck. It's
Yeah.
been that way ever since.
Team
But
Nitro.
I know we're currently red.
Yes.
However, Rumor has it, red was not the first pick of colors that we thought about for our
your,
colors.
Your mom, Sue, who is really the brains of the
Operation,
the
yeah.
operation. She does all the behind the scenes work.
Yep.
And doesn't get any of the credit. She's like the catcher.
Yep. That's exactly it.
I'm the pitcher. She's the catcher because everybody gives me the credit, but
Yeah, she does a lot.
She does it. Without her, I couldn't get any of this done.
No.
But anyway, she wanted purple.
Yes, that's her favorite color.
Favorite color.
So we were originally going to be black, white, purple.
Black, white, and purple. Yes.
But I'm not going to lie, I'm happy we stuck with red.
Well, one of the reasons we stuck with red was our Little League was red. And everybody had red in their batting helmets and bat bags. And so we were like, how can we use a different color here? Everybody's got red already. And because Nitro was started for that reason, for Little League.
Yeah.
For us to develop the girls to play at the Little League level, at the Williamsport level. And we were very successful. Again, we won the district.
Yes.
For Francesca's team, we lost in sectionals to the team that wound up winning New York States. And with your team, we wound up going on to states and won the state level.
Yeah.
And it was a great run. And
that
a
was
lot of
the
that
birth,
goes back to Nitro and the fact that we did winter training.
Oh,
and we
I
did
remember
fall ball.
doing winter training in the local elementary school in like the gym with the yellow lights.
Yep.
We did pitchers and catchers. We broke a few windows maybe, but
a
a
few
lot of great
windows.
memories in there. And like, I'm not sure if you really knew what you guys were doing, but do you remember the makeshift equipment you made
Yes.
for us for pitching? We had this like string with a weight
Yep.
to build up grip strength, and we had to
Yep,
roll them up and then roll it back down.
That was for hitting.
And then we
more for
had the
hitting.
gripping
yeah.
things. We had to
Yep,
squeeze.
yep,
Oh my God,
yep.
so much makeshift.
Yeah.
You put a ball on like a spinner so we could work our spins.
Yes.
Oh my God, so many great.
What was the other thing? I wound
Piece
up
of
getting
plywood?
a cone,
Oh yes.
construction cone.
Yes.
Right? And I put a plunger in the top, and I put a basketball
basketball.
on top of that.
And we hit off of
and
that.
you girls would have to hit the basketball to develop
Yeah.
power and strength at contact. You know, so we came up. I used a lot of things, a lot of different ideas.
became very crafty,
Now
yeah.
in here we have all the equipment we need.
All the equipment we need. Yeah.
I might even have that basketball with the plunger somewhere around here.
Yeah. I'll have to find that in the archives.
But it was great. It was a great. And listen, it really helped develop what we needed to.
Yeah.
So that we did a lot in the gym back then.
Yes.
And then we had to move at one point. We lost the gym, and we had to move our training, and we went into the cafeteria area.
Oh yes, I remember
We
that.
did pitches and catches
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
cafeteria
yeah.
with all the glass and the televisions.
Yeah, not
And
great.
I used to put bubble wrap around the televisions
Yeah.
before the sessions, and we
Just in
literally would
case.
do what? It was 4 hours in there.
Yeah. We spent
Bring
a lot of time.
all
in
the
those
all the
spaces.
ages in, 12U, 14U, 16U, 18U, brought them all in.
Yeah.
And we pitched, But now, thank God, we moved to a facility that.
Is much better suited for
Yes,
softball training.
yeah. Nice large facility.
Yep.
All the pitches and catches. One night they get pitches and catches only.
Yep.
We rent it out for an hour and a half, and they do all their drill sets. And,
Yeah.
it's a lot better than doing it in a cafeteria.
gotta
in
start
in
somewhere.
the middle school. But you got to start somewhere. You improvise. I always
Yeah,
used to
yeah,
say this all the time. It was from a classic movie. You improvise, you adapt, and you overcome.
And you love your quotes.
Yes, I'm a big quoter. Yes, I do. I do love my quotes. So we've come a long way, and here we are, 18 plus years later.
Where do you see Nitro going? Any further than where we're at now?
It's a good question. I don't necessarily have a
Vision in mind, like a point
or
in
a
mind.
point in mind.
Yeah,
a point
that's
in mind.
fair.
I just want to keep creating a positive, well-run, family-oriented
Yes.
environment where people feel very proud to play, and it's just a positive experience.
And we'd love to say we create a family.
Yes.
Across all teams,
Team
across all
Nitro
coaches.
family.
Yeah.
Yep. You join us. You're part of our family.
Yep.
And we treat you that way.
Yeah.
And that's important. I think
Yes.
that's to me is
And that's
really
something that you want to continue to strive for each year.
Yeah. I don't necessarily need to create more teams. I don't need to have a bigger organization. Some organizations, the larger ones, go nationally. They got representation in all different states. What we look to strive to place is players at primarily the Division II, Division III level
Yeah.
in the Northeast, because that's where we that's where we go to most of the showcases.
Yep.
We have Division I players that have come through the organization and go on to play Division I.
Yeah.
But again, we want to create kids or players that can find a great college,
Yeah.
maybe use their softball ability to get into a stretch college to get a great education.
Yeah. Yeah.
Play the game of softball, finish off your 4 more years of playing this game of softball, but get 4 years of an education. 4 years of a college career in softball should get you 40 years of a career in business and life.
Yep.
4 for 40. It's a very, very common term that I've heard numerous times, and I love it, and I think it makes absolute
Yeah.
sense.
I hear you.
Right? And again, I've said this before, after 4 years of playing softball in college, we need to make sure you're ready for the game of life, not the game of softball, because there's very little softball after that.
Here's my last topic. About 2.5 years ago, I created a silly little PowerPoint, sat you down at the kitchen table, and walked you through some slides proposing to create a TikTok account.
And
Now,
what did I say to you?
what the hell is TikTok?
What the hell is TikTok? Exactly.
And I think some people listening in might know us from TikTok. You know, we
Some
always
50,000 plus
Yes.
followers.
and we from time to time us, our coaches, our players go off to tournaments and they're like, "Oh, you guys are on TikTok." So a good chunk of people know us, even umpires and college coaches.
Umpires,
follow us.
other travel ball coaches, college ball coaches, love your TikToks.
Yeah.
You're TikTok famous.
Yeah.
And I went, what does that mean?
Yeah. So I persuaded you.
You did.
To
you
start
did.
that-
You had a great vision.
I had the vision. Yeah.
You said, I want to start this. And I said, absolutely, Gabs. I'm here to
Yeah.
support you, just like with
Just like we're doing
these.
here, I
Just
have
like-
persuaded him once more.
She
He's
said-
easy to persuade.
Well, if it's anything to do with softball,
Yeah.
it's easy. I'm easy. Absolutely, I'm easy. But no, again, I think what you've done with TikTok and what you're going to do with these podcasts,
Yes.
I think, has been an absolute positive. Only positive things. It's all positive for
Yeah.
the kids, for the players, for coaches, and whoever we can help.
Yeah,
that's
that's
what-
how I see it. I see it as like we have such great knowledge and experiences in this sport that we provide to our Nitro teams as coaches. Let's provide it to everyone else in the world
Yeah.
that might not be a part of the actual team of Nitro, but is a part of the larger family.
I
of
think there's a
ours.
lot of girls out there that play this sport but don't have access to the resources.
Yes.
Like you or I.
Yep.
Or girls down Long Island that have access to resources. They might not have them where
Yeah.
they are.
And social media is a beautiful thing nowadays.
Absolutely.
It's really just
Absolutely.
at the touch of your fingers, Google something,
Yeah.
search something, go to your favorite creator, see what they have to say on how to fix things. Yeah.
Unbelievable content on
Yeah.
the internet right now is available
Yes.
in so many different forms, and you really can learn a lot just
Yeah.
by watching videos or listening to people who have been through this before,
Mm-hmm.
have experienced it, and understand what it takes to take your game to the next level.
Yeah.
Right? What do I always say? I said, focus on getting 1% better every day,
Yes.
and after 100 days, you'll be 100% better.
There you go.
And that's what you want to do. Don't worry about anything else. Control the things you can control.
Yep.
Another one of my famous quotes I always say all the
Keep
time.
spewing them out.
Focus on the things you control, your attitude, your effort, and your actions. Those things you can control. You can't control what other people think about you or say about you. There's no need to even worry about
Yeah.
it. Just focus on your controllables.
Yes.
Your attitude, your effort, and your actions.
Yeah. And I may leave that at that, Father Knowledge. Thank you for shedding the wisdom onto everyone.